Singapore-listed Yoma Strategic Holdings has made several moves to diversify its business operations in Myanmar. The company says it has formed a new investment holding arm for its forays into a number of sectors, including a joint venture in the coffee business. Earlier, I spoke to Yoma's CEO Andrew Rickards, and I started off by asking him how profitable their ventures will be when projects are still in the early stages.
Well, I think the first thing to remember is that we're part of a group, the SPA group, that's been operating for 20 years in Myanmar. So the first thing I would do is look at the track record of the SPA group, which we're part of, which has been hugely successful. For Yoma itself, the last 8 years, we're in our 8th year now, I would say look at our property projects, particularly FMI City, Punlai Golf Estate and Star City, all of which have proven to be very good, successful property developments.
You have the landmark project in Myanmar, in Yangon. You're taking a railway, an old conservation building, converting part of it into a development, a mixed-use development there as well. How much interest has there been in that project?
We're calling it the landmark project, for want of a better name at the moment. There's a lot of interest in it. It's 10 acres of land right in the middle of downtown Yangon. And on that piece of land is one of the old heritage buildings, the former Myanmar Railway headquarters. And there was an announcement actually as recently as yesterday where we had a signing ceremony with the Hong Kong Shanghai Hotels, which owns the Peninsula brand, to bring a Peninsula hotel to Yangon. So the Peninsula Yangon will be in a newly refurbished Victorian building, a building that's over 100 years old, in the middle of this 10-acre site. So obviously that's attracting quite a lot of interest. In addition, we have partnered, or we brought in Mitsubishi Real Estate, one of the world's largest real estate developers, to partner on the development, and the World Bank in the form of IFC and Asia Development Bank, ADB, have also come in as partners on this project. And this is just the first year, if you like, of us developing it. We're expecting a lot more interest. Aside
from property, Yoma has also diversified into lots of other areas as well, hasn't it, Andrew, in the past year? It's got interest in tourism, retail, other sectors as well. What progress have you seen in those areas?
The period we're in now is peak tourist season, so expect good contribution from our relatively small but rapidly growing tourist business today. This morning we announced 1 or 2 more businesses. That's education and an extension of our existing agricultural business, which I think you should see in the light of extending our existing businesses. Education in of itself will make some money, but the real play I think here is that when you have a world-class school at one of your property developments, you expect the property development to do even better. Prices will generally go up 15, 20, maybe even 30% we've seen here in Singapore when a quality school is announced near a residential project. So that is the driving force for going into education. In agriculture, which has been an existing business for a while, I would say we've had less success. And one of the reasons for that is that I don't think we had the right partners. We grew Jatropha, which is a biodiesel alternative, and it was a failure. It's been a failure across the country, actually, to turn it into commercially viable quantities. But we've now taken that plantation and we've announced a transaction this morning with one of the world's largest buyers of coffee. They're called ED&F Man. They have a history that goes back a long time, and they are one of the biggest suppliers to brands that you would know well, Nescafe, Nespresso, Starbucks. They are coming in to help us with our coffee plantation. They're taking a small stake in it, but perhaps most importantly of all, they will come in with a purchase agreement.